guys, and welcome back to Pink Peach Finds. I've got something a little bit different for you today. I'm going to be showing you this beautiful picnic set that is sat out in front of us. And really what I wanted to do is to give it a chance to be shown off before it is sold. So this is currently for sale on my eBay pages and my Naartje page, which you can find in the links below if you are interested in it. But I also just wanted to kind of celebrate it really before it goes off to its new home. So to give you a little bit of context, I purchased this earlier in the year, putting it back especially for an occasion like today, basically, where the sun has come out in the UK. It's the first time we've seen the sun in the UK in not forever, but a very long time. It's actually felt warmer than just sort of 15 degrees, which in the UK is a reasonable number, but today we've reached the all-time highs of 19 degrees, which is very exciting. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this actual picnic set, show you a couple of the pieces inside of it, and also talk to you about where it's come from, what age it is, and then also just to sort of show it off to you really. So to kick things off, I'm going to give you a little bit of history about the box, and then I'm going to show you all the set, and then I'm going to show you the contents of the Brexton picnic set. So for those of you that don't necessarily know, this is 1950s, 1960s, and it was designed by a company I've already mentioned called Brexton. And it was really designed as cars became increasingly available and affordable throughout the 1950s and the 1960s. And companies such as Brexton, which is a blend of Brooks and Sexton, in case you're wondering, using really high quality materials, designed these suitcases to hold these picnic sets. So they came in a variety of really bold colours. As you can see, this one is in green and everything inside it is matching green. It's decorated with snowdrop flowers, which I'm going to show you in just a second. Each of them neatly stored some china cups, saucers, and then sometimes some plates as well. Cutlery, beakers, sometimes metal food tins, glass bottles, and then the all-important thermos flask, which you'll notice this one doesn't have. They are very commonly missing from the Brexton sets, purely because of the fact that they get taken out and then lost as they get cleaned or whatever. So this one is missing that, but it should have one that runs along this front edge here. There should be a thermos flask, and it's easily replaceable depending on whether you are picky about it being or you'd like it to be a vintage piece. So in terms of the rest of the things that are usually inside this set, so sometimes they came with Tupperware sets, which you'll see here. This is an original that came with the box, and the Tupperware boom that was seen during the 1950s was part of that, so easy ways to store food. You also had plastic food containers in the form of these little chaps here, which could store anything from milk through to juice. And at the bottom you can see here as well, you might be able to see in the light, but it is a Brexton, it's an original. And it just gives you the chance to store water, juice, milk, not hot beverages, obviously that's what your thermos is for, but they're matching as well and original. Some of them even had a fold-over serving board, which this one doesn't have, but they did have sort of serving boards that came out of them. And you can get them in a variety of sizes, so they go all the way from sort of 2, I think, to sort of 10 or 12 person settings. This one's a person setting of 4, so you've got 4 plates, 4 cups, 4 teaspoons as a place setting for 4 people. It's covered, and if you're wondering what this material looks like, so it's covered in a material called Rexine, which was a really new material at the time and was used to cover the outer case. So Brexton were makers of suitcases, if I've not already mentioned that, and that's why you see sort of such the elements of a suitcase, including the latches and the handles, as they were makers of suitcases and capitalised on the market growing of automobiles and cars during the 1950s and 1960s, capitalising on that by making picnic sets. That was how they capitalised on that, that sort of wanting to go out and people spending time outside, which is obviously at the time when you used to take a pack up into a car was completely revolutionary. Nowadays it's something that we do all the time, but then in the 1950s, 1960s, it would have been incredible to pack up and take lunch out into the countryside. So yes, this is covered in Rexine, which is a new material, and it consists of a durable cloth coated material, which is similar to leather. So if you feel it, you might even call it faux leather, but it's actually Rexine. And that is basically to make sure the set's really durable. The rest of the set is made from wood. This is a celluloid handle, and these are Cheney latches. I think that's how you pronounce it, Cheney latches, typical of, again, 1950s, 1960s. Nowadays they are highly sought after, and at the sort of popularity was such at the time that they produced special editions to commemorate the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in 1953. And nowadays these are really highly sought after, very collectible pieces that you can sort of come across complete and incomplete depending on how bothered you are about adding it, for example, the thermos flask in. Okay, so what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to show you the individual pieces. Now we've heard a little bit about the history, we're going to show you the individual pieces that are inside this particular set. I've already sort of picked out one of them, which is the little bottles, but I'm going to show you the rest of it as well. So we'll start with these then. Like I said, these are for juice, water, they're Brexton stamped on the bottom. We'll put them to one side. The next thing that you'll notice is this food box. So this is a Brexton food box, and it's not stamped to the base, but the top. And this, like I mentioned earlier, is basically to do with the Tupperware boom, where you'd be able to store food, can still store food inside that. And that's perfect for sandwiches, really. It's a good selection of sandwiches for 4 people whilst you're out and about. The next thing that we have are these 4 wonderful mugs. Absolutely beautiful. I'm fairly sure that's a snowdrop. And then to the bottom we've got the stamp of Brexton and the number, which is 8091, and that's the make of the or the number of the pattern of the cups. So there's 4 of them, ceramic, so they are both nice for indoor and out actually, but they're a really nice addition to this set. From there then we have the saucers, which match the cups, and sometimes you get plates inside of these as well, which might have matched the set. And again, to the bottom of those you've got the stamp there, and you'll notice there's an additional green stamp across the bottom, which is from the Barker Bros, who made this set that went inside here. And then finally to the back, and I'm not going to get them out because they're tight in, are stainless steel, 4 stainless steel teaspoons. So this is the perfect set really to be able to take out on the road, and I think would make a lovely addition now to a camper van. Perhaps not a camping setup, but certainly a camper van or an old vintage car, you know, to put in the back and take out with you. And it's perfect for, you could take it for 2 people, you could take it for 4 people. All it needs is that additional thermos flask, which you can add in a modern example, or you might want to add in, you might want to find a vintage one to add. I'm going to pop this stuff back in. So that's everything popped away, and now I'm going to close the lid so you can see the exterior. There we go, and it fastens with these 2 lovely locks here, really smooth and easy to shut. And then you have this wonderful handle here, and then the marking across the bottom or the front of the case, which says Brexton. And I'm going to turn it around so you can have a look at the whole thing. We've got 2 latches, metal latches to the back, or hinges, sorry. A little bit of consummate wear here, but given that this is from 1950s, 1960s, it's in excellent condition. And so that fabric we talked about, that Rexine, really did its job. So that is the Brexton 1950s, 1960s picnic set, made in England. And I just wanted to show you it today before it sells. Take care, guys. See you soon.